Hey guys, hope you're all doing great. We are so stoked that you guys are here with us today. Little update for you guys. I am now 29 weeks pregnant.
She has popped.
I have popped. Baby is growing. So we're third trimester and we're super excited because we're just getting ready for the baby to come in October.
2 months away now?
2 months away. But today we are going to be talking about our love story. We know you guys have been asking for this for a long time, so we are just really excited to dive in. We're going to give you all the details from beginning to end. So this will be part 1, and we hope you enjoy it.
Okay, so to give you a little bit of context, we've been married for 4 years now, and like Sarah said, we're expecting our first baby boy in October. October 13th is the due date. But we're going to take you back to the very, very, very beginning, before Sarah and I even knew each other. So I was out on a mission for my church, and a lot of stuff was going on. I don't know if any of you guys knew this, but I had a big accident when I was a kid and fell off of a 30-foot cliff and completely destroyed the whole right side of my face. I had a subdural hematoma, basically bleeding in your brain, and didn't have any after effects from any of it until I went out to Honduras to serve this mission, and I started to just get this intense brain fog and confusion. I couldn't even recognize people. I couldn't process what was going on, where I was, what I was doing. So eventually I had to come back, and I was pretty sad about it because normally the mission would go for 2 years. I loved it, it was really fun. Had to come back after 6 months of being out because it was just really pointless at that point. I wasn't getting anything done, and I was just hurting myself emotionally and mentally, trying to cope with everything. So come back, and it's March of 2015. Yeah. And I was meeting with therapists to kind of get me through all of this. I was just like, what the freak is going on with my brain? I don't get why this is happening to me. Met with a lot of doctors. I was kind of in this dark hole, and none of my friends could really get me out. I didn't want to go and do anything. I was just uninterested in dating or doing anything really. And finally, one of my best friends, Weston, was like, dude, I have a buddy and some friends. There's gonna be girls. They wanna go hike Mount Timpanogos, which is the tallest mountain in Utah, at 1 a.m. in the morning. And we're gonna do the sunrise hike. And I was like, all right, whatever. And so he convinced me to do it, and that's where Sarah and I met. So I'm gonna let her give her backstory up to that point.
My backstory was the typical graduated from high school and
it's not typical. She's a collegiate
going
athlete.
to college. No. So I graduated, and then I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go play tennis, for what college. And there was a few options I was looking at, but none of them seemed to fit well with me. So for a year I just went to a community college here in Utah to try and figure out what I wanted to do and which school I wanted to play for. And I was just living the college life. I was with my roommates. I was going on tons of dates. Lots of first dates. Not a ton of second dates. I mean, I was just kind of over the whole dating scene. And before that, before I was going on all these dates, I had a boyfriend in high school that I had dated for 2 years at this point. So we started dating at the end of my junior year, and we continued to date until after my senior year, until I graduated. And then he actually went on a mission as well for our church. And so I said goodbye to him, did the whole sad thing, and we wrote letters and
lots of letters.
Lots of letters.
Yeah.
Emails.
Every week.
All that good stuff. You know, and we had plans, we had talked about marriage.
Yeah.
Sorry, got a little sidetracked, but I had just barely signed to play for Brigham Young University, or BYU, Provo, to be on their tennis team. And so I moved out. I was with my friend Ashley at the time, and basically the week before this hike happened, I had just hiked Mount Timpanogos. And like he said, it's an 8-hour hike.
It sucks.
And it sucks. Like, completely sucks. Like, I was still sore when we went on the hike again. So I was basically telling my friend Ashley, when she told me that they were going on a hike, I said, there's no way. And they wanted to start at midnight. And I was like already like half asleep, and I was like, there's no way I'm going on this hike. And she said basically that I needed to be her wingman was the thing. She thought a guy was cute on the hike, and you know, and I still said no. I was literally asleep on my couch, completely out like for the night, and my friend Ashley was there too. She was sleeping, and I thought, okay, well, we're not gonna go because we both fell asleep on the couch. But then she woke me up and said, we're going, and dragged me. She literally dragged me off the couch and said, we're going. And so, yeah, it was kind of a fate thing because neither of us wanted to go.
So anyways, we're all at the bottom of this mountain getting ready to hike. The girls still haven't showed up yet, so we're kind of just waiting, like, who's it gonna be? And my buddy Weston and I see these two girls pull up, and we're like, dang, those are cute girls. And I really thought this blonde one was super cute. And she looked really adventurous. She was wearing like this Patagonia hat.
It wasn't even my hat. It was Ashley's hat.
This is so not Sarah. But she was like,
I like hats. I'm adventurous.
She is adventurous, but not like the Patagonia and like the sport hike jacket.
Yeah.
Like, dang, this girl is legit. Anyways, first, we're all like, hey, how's it going? Usually you give like hugs, you know, like college students, whatever. It's like, hey, Sarah. Shook her hand. Good to meet you.
It was the weirdest thing. I was like, who is this guy? Well, Derik was wearing this gray beanie, and so I could just see his face, but I was like, that's a cute face. And then I was getting really excited about, you know, learning his name, maybe talking to him, and then all of a sudden it's just, hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Like I said, I did not really care at this point, so I was like, there's no way I'm going on a date or anything, but she is really cute.
I mean, I had no idea he didn't even give me his name. He could have just said Derik. I'm Derik or something.
Not how I do it, no.
No, he just, hi, nice to meet you.
And me being me, I've kind of always been like this throughout school and high school, whatever. But I just took off and ran. I was like, I'm not gonna talk to these girls. I get really nervous.
Sad is this part? Just listen. There were like all these other people, and pretty much the only guy that I was like, dang, he's really cute, and I hadn't thought a guy was cute in a long time. He takes off running with his two other friends, so Weston, the guy that invited us, and then Leo, the other guy, and Derik just take off running.
We ran the whole, it took us like 3 hours to get up there or something, but normally it takes you like 5 or 6.
So I'm back with Ashley and then a bunch of people that I had no idea who they were. All really awesome people. But it's, like you said, it's like a 5-hour hike up there, and I thought I'd get to talk to Derik, but he just took off running.
We were at the top of the mountain. We all got there. We're freezing cold. Sarah lent her only jacket.
Tell them how cold it really was. It was
probably like 10 degrees.
Like,
no joke, it was freezing cold.
The coldest I have ever been.
And windy.
Yes.
And so one of these kids that we hiked with forgot his jacket. And Sarah, being Sarah, was like, oh, I'll just give him my little windbreaker that she was wearing.
I gave him my hoodie.
Oh, gave him the hoodie, and now she's only wearing a windbreaker. So
I'm wearing like this really thin windbreaker jacket because I felt so bad for this kid who was wearing a short sleeve shirt.
Then we're all like huddled behind this rock, and Sarah, her friend, went and was cuddling with another guy, and so Sarah's by herself. She's down at the bottom of this rock, just sitting there.
You guys.
I was sitting with my friends going like, man, I should probably like go and put my arm around her and keep her warm, but I'm not gonna. And I just ended up sitting there the whole time. And
I probably looked like the saddest person at the bottom of the rocks ever, down there shivering with my tiny windbreaker, and it's like 10 degrees.
Yeah, so we're like all getting ready to leave. I never made my move, didn't go down. She just kind of suffered down there. And then she was trying to come back up the rocks.
Oh, you didn't tell them before that. When we were hiking to the top and it's like these switchbacks with rocks, my headlamp started to go out and it was dark. And so I couldn't see that there was like a big indent in the trail because my lamp wasn't working. Everyone else had their flashlights and their lamps. And mine had just gone out. And so I was walking and then there was a big hole in the side of the mountain and I just literally was falling off the side of this big steep cliff. And then somehow my adrenaline kicked in and I like pushed myself back, but then my knee hit a rock like super hard. So I had to limp like the rest of the way up and it was like pretty swollen. Anyway, now continue.
So she's hurt.
I'm hobbling up the rocks.
She's hurt and she's trying to come back up the rocks and I lent out a hand. I was like, all right, this is my move. I was like, hey, can I help you up the rocks? And she just goes, no, I'm good. And I was like, sick. So she walked right past me and then I was like, she didn't take the hand, walked right past me. I was like, all right, well, that's it. I'm done. Not gonna try that again. And so we walked down the whole mountain and I like walked way in front of Sarah. We didn't talk again the whole way down. And we get to the bottom of the mountain and I think I shook your hand again and said it was good to meet you.
I was so over the handshaking. I'm like, what is this handshaking going on?
And
over and over.
We left and I was like, all right, never gonna see that beautiful blonde girl again. That kind of sucks. Shot myself in the foot, but whatever.
He tried, I just didn't accept the hand.
Lo and behold, my buddy Weston was still very interested in hanging out with these two girls. And so we were back at my house, I think it was the next night or 2 nights later.
Show him the DMs.
He's like, dude, let's go try and hang out with those girls again. I was like, whatever, all right, I'll just tag along, but I'm over it. And he DM'd them, said, hey, we really think you guys are cute, we want to hang out again. And Sarah was like, yeah, come over to my parents' house so we can hang out. So Weston was like, yeah, it's just gonna be me and my buddy Derik. And Sarah's like, who's Derik?
I didn't know who Derik was because I didn't know his name, so I didn't put 2 and 2 together that it was the cute blonde guy from the hike. So I wasn't expecting him to show up at my door with Weston. So basically, I opened the door and I wasn't really interested romantically in Weston, and so I wasn't thinking about Derik, so I was in like full-on pajamas, like sweat pajamas. I looked really gross, like I just wasn't ready. And I opened the door and then I literally wanted to punch myself in the face because it was the cute blonde guy that I wanted to impress, and I was like, dang, I should have got ready in my head.
Didn't you like run upstairs or something like right away and like?
Well, after that, I had already told my mom all about the cute blonde guy, the mystery guy. I didn't know his name.
Also, Sarah doesn't like blondes.
I don't.
That's
I usually typically like blondes. I was more attracted to dark-haired people.
So
it was weird. Anyway, so they went inside my house and I ran upstairs to my mom and I was like, why didn't I get ready? And then also I said, the cute guy from the hike is here. His name is Derik, actually. And I was like, you have to come down and meet him. And so then I went back downstairs, composed myself, and Derik met my mom. Did you meet my dad?
Yeah, met all the family. We decided to go up the canyon and do a campfire. And this is like the first time where Sarah and I started to hit it off. And we were like, we had to go look for some sticks or something to set a fire. And so we were just like making jokes about fires and sticks and stupid stuff and laughing at every little thing that we said.
No, I
just remember, yeah.
It was more like our conversation flowed better than sticks and fire.
I don't remember what we said, but
this is going great. This guy's really cute. Me and my friend were both crushing, but secretly I was definitely hoping that he was interested in me. But he, being the awkward duck that he is, we're all sitting around the fire and he just goes and sits on his own log. There's a spot right next to me and he just goes, sits by himself.
Yeah, I was weird. I've kind of like struck out at this point twice, and driving back home with my buddy Weston, going back to my house, and get there, and I realized that Sarah had left her purse in my car. Left her purse in my
He
car.
does that, but he knows that it was not on purpose.
Yeah, I believe her that it wasn't on purpose, but I think it was just fate. I'm super scared. I'm like, frick, now I gotta like go and give her her purse, and that's probably gonna mean we're gonna have to hang out again, and I'm really awkward and I don't know what to do. She texted me and was like, hey, I left my purse in your car, I think. And I was like, yeah, you did. Do you want to come pick it up, or I can bring it to you? And luckily I was with a homie who knew Sarah really well. They're actually really good friends. And he's like, dude, let's just go take it to her and we'll hang out with them tonight. So me and this friend named Jackson, we go and hang out with Sarah and that same friend, Ashley, again that night. We went and longboarded down this parking garage. And this was actually like a really good memory for me because I actually remember what Sarah was wearing. She was wearing this Simba sweater. It was white and it had the picture of Simba on it. And some jeans and like high top shoes.
Should I go get the sweater? I have it in the closet.
Go get the sweater.
I'm gonna go get the sweater.
Go get the
I'll
sweater.
show you. Here's the sweater.
I thought it was so cool. I was like, dang, this chick is rad. She's wearing a Simba sweater. Wow.
Some high tops.
Yeah, some high tops.
Super fun.
I was way into it. And so we were at this parking garage longboarding down, and I remember one of the times we were going down and Sarah was like not very good at it.
I wasn't. No, I'm
Just kidding.
No.
She jumped off her board and
I got going so fast.
her board just shot for mine, and I was like, oh freak. And so then I jumped off mine and barely missed hers. If I would have hit it, I would have freaking broken something. I don't know.
I almost killed him.
She was all like embarrassed and stuff. I was like, but yeah, one of my favorite memories of that time hanging out was we were leaving and Sarah and I actually hugged for the first time, and it was a solid hug, and I was like, dang, I actually like this girl.
We moved past the handshakes.
We moved past the handshakes into hug phase now. But from that moment on, I was like, okay, I actually really like this girl and I want to maybe pursue it and try to make things happen.
It was the little butterflies. So, next part of the story. It was the next day.
Yeah, it was either that night or the next day. I can't remember.
Oh, wait, it was that night.
Oh, yeah.
We're still at the college because we were doing the longboarding down the parking garage. They were doing a true Wolverine.
It's their mascot, basically.
It's the mascot, you know, where they do the spotlight kissing, really weird. Why do people go to this?
I don't know.
I don't know. But we're like, oh, let's go over and see. There was party. There was food there. That's why I wanted to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, food.
And maybe the possibility that I thought Derik would kiss me, but no.
No, not happening.
That was,
Not in front of
I
people.
think once I knew how shy he was, I knew that was not going to happen. So I must have been there for the food.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we go over there with our group, and it's just like the Hunger Games, you know? There's all those college people, and they're all just looking at each other like, who am I gonna kiss? And the guys are like predators. It was so scary. So I was panicking, I was sweating, I had tacos. I mean, the whole thing was very scary. I looked at Derik and I was like, will you be my fake boyfriend? Like, please.
Yes.
To save me from
All
any
I heard
guy.
at that point was, will you be my boyfriend? And I was like, yep, I will.
said, so basically these guys come over and they're like talking to me and my friend Ashley, and they're like, hey,
What's up, bro? I'm your boyfriend.
what do you guys do? And I just am like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not kissing anyone tonight. He's my boyfriend.
She kept saying it over and over, and I actually convinced myself that I was her boyfriend. It was amazing.
He was my ticket out of kissing any random creepy guy.
She knew what she was doing.
But I knew.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, she's very strategic about how she gets her boyfriend.
do you know if I wasn't strategic,
Play the whole fake boyfriend thing
this
instead
would
of like,
have never happened because you were so shy.
That's true. I think it was the next day after that we went longboarding again. I think it was like the only thing we could like the only thing we decided to do. I don't know why, but we went longboarding down a canyon, and I was like, this is my moment. I got to do something here. So we started going down, and I realized that Sarah was a little wobbly and didn't have full control.
I was not that
So I was
wobbly.
like, okay, easy. I'm gonna go hold her hand. So I was like, hey, you wanna hold my hand? And she grabbed it really fast, and I was like, oh.
I did not grab it fast.
Yes.
You grabbed my hand, and it was slower. I did not grab sand.
No, but we held hands the whole way down, and it was the greatest thing in my life. And then we get to this point where you have to get off your longboard because you're just gonna get going way too fast, and you walk over this barrier. I think we tried to walk over it at like the same time, but I took Sarah's longboard to help her, and as I walked over, just whacked her on the head with mine. And
total hitch moment.
Yeah,
like
it was a
hit
hitch
me
moment.
so hard in the back of the head.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And I just kept saying sorry like 1,000 times, and she's like, oh, it's okay, it's totally fine.
It's fine, I'm just bleeding, I have a concussion.
Get her a goose egg on the back of her head. But somehow it still worked out, and we had a good time.
Then I tripped on a rock.
That's good. For all of this, it's been like just a few days of hanging out, and we're kind of getting to the point where we're like, all right, we kind of want to like start dating, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, hanging out lots. And a week later, my brother Tanner and his wife Lauren got married, and my parents basically at this point were like, okay, Sarah is Derik's like ray of sunshine. He will do anything. We haven't seen him get out the door in like months. He hasn't done anything, but now anything that Sarah wants to do, he's out and he's doing it. But it was the best. It was like the first time in my life after probably a year where I felt like normal again. I had interests. I wanted to like look good to impress Sarah, and it definitely got me out of that hole I was in, which was just kind of suffocating me. And so it was really, again, I feel like all of it was destined from the start, and she helped me a lot.
It's making me all teary-eyed over here.
Right.
Dang. Gosh.
No, none
We
of
can't
that.
already be crying. Can I blame pregnancy hormones?
Yes, it's pregnancy.
Ah,
Boy,
Derik's awesome.
I'll never forget those memories. They're literally ingrained into my brain. Like, they just helped me a lot. So at this point, my brother's getting married, and I asked my parents, I was like, hey, can Sarah come to the wedding? And they didn't even hesitate. My mom was like, yes, invite her, she's coming. So Sarah comes to my brother's wedding.
I was terrified.
She was terrified. Both sides of the families are gonna be there. Everyone's gonna meet Sarah. It's kind of a big deal. And everyone loved her. Like, no one even wanted to talk to me. They were just like, we want to talk to Sarah. Sarah's amazing. Like, my grandparents, my in-laws were like, Derik, are you gonna marry this girl? And this has been a week, and I was like, I don't know. Next day, I can let you tell this part, but should I tell it, or do you want
Is
to
this
tell it?
our first kiss?
It was a first kiss.
Derik is so much better at the timeline than I am. He knows the dates, and I remember the stories.
She remembers the stories well.
So, he invites me to go on a date. It's a double date with Weston and another girl. And then me and Derik, and
Shout out to you, Weston. Thanks.
Weston is still our BFF.
He made this happen.
To this day. Yes, he did. Anyway, so he invites me to go razor riding up to a tree house in Utah. And we got Subway sandwiches. Sorry, I had to blow my nose.
A little teary-eyed.
Not because...
She's sick, she's pregnant, and she cries.
So that's a good combo. So we got our Subway sandwiches, and we were riding up in the razor, and in my head I was thinking, man, I hope Derik kisses me tonight. But he was kind of a different guy than guys I had dated in the past, because I feel like guys would have normally kissed me already at that point, because I wanted him to kiss me, and we had so many opportunities where we were alone or like after the wedding, and just like perfect times where we could have kissed, and we just never did. Anyway, so I thought maybe tonight is the night. So we head up, we get to the tree house, and we eat our food.
Subway breath.
Subway breath was real. It
was a bad call on my end to go get Subway because I knew I was gonna kiss her that night. I was like, why did I get Subway? That's so
Subway.
Stupid.
Anyway, so we're up in the tree house and we're sitting in 2 chairs and we have blankets and we can see the stars. Super cute and mushy. And Weston, being the homie that he is, says to his date, let's go up here, I want to show you something. Obviously, kind of made it known. So we're sitting there and Derek and I are just talking. It's kind of like weird, awkward, small talk. Like we're just making conversation. I don't really remember what we were talking about, but I just remember it was like, we both got kind of like weird a little bit. And I was like, this is it, this is it. And he grabbed my hand and then looked at me. And at this point, I kind of thought he was going to throw up.
I almost threw up. I was so nervous.
He was looking at me so scared. And he... This part always makes me laugh. He looks at me and he goes, Sarah, I like you. And I was like, I'm not exaggerating, it was that slow. And I looked at him and I was like, I like you too. And then he, like, we're in 8th grade. And then he leans in, we go in for the kiss.
It was nice. It was really nice. And after I kissed her, I just kind of looked at her and I was like, that was good.
So funny when you say it. And it was just something I was so not used to, because I feel like I always dated these really not shy guys, and so it was just like we'd kiss and then we'd make out, and it was just like, I don't know. And Derek was just different. There was something so sweet and amazing, and it made me like him way more.
Yeah, that was a really awkward time. But it was amazing. Best first kiss I've ever had. So we're gonna end it here with part 1 of our story. There's a lot more that we want to cover. A lot more details, how we told each other the L word.
A lot more drama. Just kidding.
When we found out we wanted to get married and how that all went down with us being so young. Our parents and people and ourselves were all a little unsure. We were so young and scared, but we kind of sent it. And we want to go over all of that, so stay tuned for episode 2.
As always, like and subscribe so that you don't miss that, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye. Sarah's so sweet. She cries at everything though. It's very cute though.
I cry at everything.
It's nice. I'm not a crier though.
I have enough tears for both Derek and I.
That's true.
But I happy cry too. It's not like I'm just this sad mess. I happy cry. Hopefully you can teach baby boy to be a little bit more smooth.
If he's like me, he'll struggle. If he's like Sarah, he'll be really good. So, I wonder what it'll be like though.
Shy guys are really cute, actually. Being shy is awesome.
I'm really not like super shy, but in this phase of life, I was really,
he was
really
shy. He's not shy.
No. Hi. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
What's your name?
Sarah.
Sweet.
Nice to meet
See
you.
ya.
See ya.